There is the aerial view of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Atlantic City home to major boxing for the last several years. Tyson Spinks, fighters like Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Pernell Whitaker have all defended titles in here. And of course, the Atlantic City Convention Center, home to many great fights, Miss America. And tonight, Main Events and Monitor presents a very special evening, the night of the young heavyweights. David Tua and John Ruiz for the WBC International Heavyweight Championship. Hi everybody, I'm Dave Bontempo. Happy to welcome you to ringside as this heavyweight fervor unfolds here. There you get a look at Michael Moorer and his family. Michael Moorer, former heavyweight champion, Jerry Cooney. Somebody who for years electrified fans with some of his great fights, his left hooks, the bounce with Larry Holmes, and Jerry Cooney drawn here for the night of the young heavyweights. Celebrities on hand as they look for something that is rarely done in boxing. Fighters who have something to lose early in their career, putting it on the line. So many times you see that fighters are kept undefeated and protected for very long in their careers until they can get world title shots, but that's not the case tonight. This is a unique aspect, something that's very refreshing in the sport of boxing. Fighters with good records, all on the way up, going head-to-head. As the crowd here, you don't see any empty seats. It's a good crowd packed in here. Bally's Park Place, the sponsor. And the storied Atlantic City Convention Center. Because up first will be David Tua and John Ruiz opening up our card. David Tua, very good, hard-punching Auckland, New Zealand native. The big knockout record, 225 pounds. A left hook, which at times has reminded people of Mike Tyson. So some aspect there, very good. David Tua, 23 years of age. Ruiz is 24. Ruiz will have the height at 6'2" versus 5'10" for David Tua. And Tua, 225, pretty compact. Ruiz, 219. Tua with a 72-inch reach, and Ruiz with 80. Now, this is an intriguing battle for several reasons. Now, David Tua has been ripping through competition. I first saw him in 1993. He was just getting his career started. And this is one of those fights now we'll find out a lot about him. He's beaten the veterans like Ken LaCusta, Cecil Coffey. Now, his people want to see what he'll do against the very elite competition. Now, John Ruiz, who has been very popular in the UK, has a 25-2 mark, 17 knockouts, billed out of Boston, Massachusetts, but has fought extensively in England. And with the WBC International Heavyweight Championship, he's gotten himself into a good spot. It's the type of thing that could put you in the world rankings and make you an optional contender for one of the champions. Makes you able to fight for a title at any time. Ruiz will be a little bigger than Tua. Tua will be getting down low, trying to get his left hook off. That's been his money punch. So if Ruiz can take that away from him, it would be a very good night for him. Now, John Ruiz in 1995 emerged in February. Got a 10-round win over Boris Powell, who was rated number 5 in the WBO at that time. So it was Ruiz's biggest victory to date. And he fought a southpaw that evening. So he beat a southpaw and moved into the world rankings. And then 3 fights later against Derek Roddy in England, was able to capture the WBC International title. And from then, he has gotten 2 more victories. And he was showcased on the Tommy Morris, Lennox Lewis undercard in October. So he's shown himself to be a fighter to watch, and you get a look at some of the different generations blending here. Boxing starting at an early age with the program in hand right there. And that youngster also very smartly dressed. And we'll see if she remembers this evening, years from now, her first fight. Getting ready for the ring entrances now. You get a look at Shelley Finkel, one of the great men behind the scenes. And George Foreman is here, though, in a commentating role. And David Tua coming in now, led by Lou Duva. David Tua fought for New Zealand in the Olympics in 1992, capturing a bronze medal for them, for that country. And it's hard to believe when you look at him and watch the way he fights that once he was a choir boy, church choir. He was born in Western Samoa, and he went to New Zealand, settled there at the age of 11. His father, Tavali, was a middleweight also. Had David sparring against adults very early in life, and from that David Tua learned a lot. He said he used to try to avoid those afternoon sessions at all costs, but he was unable to do it. And there's the possession for John Ruiz. So Ruiz will be defending his WBC Intercontinental title. The title means a lot if you win it. If you haven't been in the world rankings, if you don't have a rating, because that will guarantee one for you. If you do have a rating, it's a nice piece of hardware. Well, David Tua will get the attire and the wardrobe nod here. His corner man, Lou Duva, seems pretty loose. Well, let's check out how these rules are going to stack up, how we will do it. According to the WBC regulations, 10 points to the winner of a round. No 3 knockdown rule here, so the referee might have to make a tough judgment call. No standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. And only the referee can stop the fight. Fight scheduled for 12 rounds, and the butt rule for the WBC is 3 rounds. A foul that would occur inside of 3 rounds that would stop the bout would make it a technical draw. 3 rounds are over. You go to the scorecards. Final preparations going on inside the ring. We'll be shortly going to the introductions. Some of the crowd still filing in here. And Michael Buffer is standing by. Tua getting his last words of advice and instruction from Lou Duva. The venerable, feisty Lou Duva. And Ruiz has some good sweat on him there. Looks pretty well warmed up. You don't want to wait too long and lose that edge. This type of stuff drives fighters nuts when they're waiting. They're in the ring, and they have to go through the final process like this. It just gives them more time to think about what's going to happen here. They would like to just get it on, get the adrenaline flowing, and they usually say when that first punch gets thrown and landed, the nervousness will go away. Yeah, good look at the crowd here at Atlantic City Convention Center. Fine arena, comfortable place to do boxing. Lou Duva. Been on the scene so many years. Champions like Pernell Whitaker, Mark Breland, Rocky Lockridge, and the best friend the reporter ever had as far as a notebook was concerned. Lou would always give you a good interview. Never a dull moment with that man. But John Ruiz looks like all business here. Ready? It's a big fight for him. Both of these boxers have been brought along rather quietly. And so this is a nice, logical collision course for them. Tua has had the international experience as an amateur. Ruiz has beaten a world-class contender. Also beat a lefty, very good lefty. Much to his credit there. And this time he'll have somebody who should be a compatible style. Easy to adjust to. Ruiz in 1995 won 6 bouts, 4 in 1994, 12 bouts in 1993, and very few of them were short. So he gained a lot of mental toughness by going through those wars there. David Tua was blitzing through opponents early. A string of one-rounders. Now here's the introduction.
Gentlemen, by way of Bally's Park Place of Atlantic City, welcome to Atlantic City's Convention Hall, where tonight main events monitor in association with your undisputed, undefeated king of beers, Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Present an evening of professional boxing in the heavyweight division. This card tonight is dedicated to the memory of Dan Duva. All the bouts you see tonight are sanctioned by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, Board members Gary Shaw and Al Daniels, Deputy Commissioner John Greco. Our physicians at ringside are Dr. Frank B. Doggett, he's the chief physician. Attending physicians are Dr. Eric Wormser and Dr. Ronald Woods. The timekeepers tonight are Arthur Spell and Roosevelt Gilbert. This first bout is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council. Supervisor at ringside, Anibal Miramontes. The 3 judges scoring the contest will be Harold Lawrence, Barbara Perez, and Jack Woodruff. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Tony Perez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC International Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trimmed with white letters and weighing in at 225 pounds. He comes to us from Auckland, New Zealand, with a perfect record of 22-0, 18 KOs to his credit. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the undefeated challenger, David Tua. Opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with blue letters, and weighing in at 219 pounds. His record an outstanding one, 25 victories with 17 KOs, only 2 defeats. He comes to us tonight from Chelsea, Massachusetts. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the WBC International Heavyweight Champion, John the Quiet Man Ruiz.
You already given you the instruction in the dressing room. 2 things you must remember: obey my commands at all times, and most important, protect yourself at all times. Any questions? Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
Well, we're ready now. Scheduled for 12 or less. David Tua, the black trunks. You get a look at him right there. Owner of a tremendous left hook. And John Ruiz, 225. Listed as having a reach advantage here. We'll see how he uses it. Tua with a big left hook, and Ruiz in trouble. Tua comes right at him. Another big bomb, and Ruiz is down. This could almost be over now. Tua came storming out. It's over. Tony Perez stops it at the count of 5. And David Tua, as advertised, the left hook. And for a fight of this level in which both men come in with good credentials, David Tua wins it in shocking fashion. A stunning array of power. 19 seconds. And this one is over. Concern for John Ruiz. Tony Perez stopped the count at 5. Gave the physicians 5 seconds more to go in and tend to John Ruiz. Now, to give you some idea, again, about the impressive nature of Tua's triumph, Ruiz held the belt. Ruiz came in as the WBC International Champion, and David Tua in, by far, his most impressive performance to date. I said he was Tyson-like. He certainly showed a lot of remnants of it there. John Ruiz responding to medical attention, and he's up, and we'll get quite a nice round of applause here. He took quite a bit right there. That had Tyson written all over it, the way it was thrown and everything by Tua. Now he knows he's done the damage here. He comes right in, and before John Ruiz can recover, Tua is all over him. One more right hand, another one in there. And that one was the one that really did the damage. Tremendous hook there. Practically wins the fight for Tua already. Tony Perez on the outside, waiting for these guys to fight their way out. There's her right hand. Tony Perez should be there right now, and maybe one punch too much there. Happening very fast. Left hook by Tua. As we get the time listed, that's the one there that maybe didn't have to get in. As Ruiz feeling the effects of that, especially the last shot. So David Tua in 19 seconds, and that includes the count.
At 19 seconds of the very first round, referee Tony Perez waves off the 10 count and calls a halt to the bout. The title changes hands. The winner and new WBC International Heavyweight Champion, still undefeated, David Tua.
Well, quite a development here in Atlantic City as the challenger, David Tua, comes up with a 19-second victory over John Ruiz, who had only 2 losses, who held the WBC title on the international level. Here it is. In case you blinked, we'll show it to you again. If you just turned your head for a second, you missed that. Amazing. That took 14 seconds for Ruiz to be down. 5 seconds of that 19 seconds was the count. David Tua with some tremendous hands, beating somebody of world caliber in shocking fashion. And as you go through John Ruiz's record, he hadn't lost in a year and a half, and had never been stopped. So David Tua uses this platform.
Well, it was a good one. What do you feel you get out of a fight like this, except obviously creating a lot of excitement here and down in New Zealand as well, where a lot of your best friends, maybe hundreds of thousands of them, are watching this fight?
Yes, of course, you know, their support means a lot to me. I like to thank them for their support from day one. But, you know, I'm very excited. You know, I trained hard for this fight, even though it didn't go as long as 12 rounds. But I'm happy.
Let's see if we can roll up the knockout and for you to describe it to us. We were discussing at ringside. There it is. You tell us about it, David.
It's, you know, my trainers told me to go in there, put the jab his chest, and as soon as I come in, when he throws the right hand, roll under and come over the left hook, and that's the first punch that hit him. And as soon as I got him, I just didn't get stopped.
From your, because you're built the way you are, is your size and reach underestimated by opponents?
Yes, yes I do. You know, because I'm so short and so small, you know, they underestimate me, and I love that. I really love it.
Well, I don't think they're going to underestimate you in the future. Let's talk to Lou Duva now. Lou, how far away is he from a major shot at a proven heavyweight?
Well, we'd like to fight Mike Tyson tomorrow. This kid can punch. This kid can punch. He does everything right. He learns. And physically he's good. Mentally he's good. And he wants to fight. And he says, tonight, Lou, I'm going to prove to you that I can fight. We've been bringing him along slow. We've been teaching him. Like I say, we teach him in the gym. And he's doing a terrific job.
All right, but answer the question now. How far away is he from taking on a proven top heavyweight? We know you'd like to fight for the title.
How about fighting Shannon Briggs? We'll fight him tomorrow.
Well, that's not
him on HBO. The next fight.
That's not a proven top heavyweight.
Well, then you give me one. We'll fight him with anybody.
Let's say Tim Witherspoon.
No problem. We'll fight. I mean, we'll fight. There's a lot of guys you can fight out there. Right now, I think that level up on top has to get their act together. Who's going to fight who? But right now, this kid here is going to be one of the most promising young heavyweights in the business.
Thank you, Lou, for punctuating that short fight. And now back to you, Jim and George.